Hey guys, it's been a while. It's Sunday morning. I'll soon be coaching somebody that is suffering from depression, and it's such an honor for me to do that because I also thought that, the more I know that the more we give, the more we get back, and it's about time that Limitless starts giving back to society in a free way, if you know what I mean. So it's like a tithe, and I know it's not something we need to talk about, but it takes the blessing away. But it really, really is an honor for me, and I realize that I'm so fortunate, and I'm so happy, and I'm so blessed to be able to do this for somebody else, because I know this journey is just life changing. So today I want to chat to you very briefly about the unholy Trinity. So those of us that are Christian on this group knows that we speak about the Holy Trinity, that is God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus. But I've discovered that there's also an unholy Trinity, and they are manic, busy, and hyperactive with a touch of independence. And to top it off, I want to ask the question, how authentic are we? I've spoken yesterday to a client over a lunch date that we've had, and the one thing that dawned on me was that she's so busy that she could not hear that the future is happening for her. So she's going through this life-changing event, and if I mean life-changing, it's almost changing continents. And she's got a loving husband that really, really cares for her. And she's now going to be, without a job, without an income. And she's going to be I think, in a vulnerable place if you look at it, from a human perspective. But what we forget is that when life happens, it happens for us and not to us. And because we are so busy, sometimes life have to make a radical change in our lives to get our attention and to get us to live in our true north, whatever it is you want to call it, but to live the life of purpose that we are placed on this earth for to begin with. So, and I realize that meditation to many people are something that requires work. To others, especially the Christian folk, it feels like it's an Eastern religious thing, and it's really not. Meditation that I'm referring to is just sitting and being quiet. So we live our lives in the unconditioned or in the conditioned realm of most of the time. So when we're busy, the left brain is working, the amygdala fires shots to and fro, what to do, what not to do, freeze, flee, or fight, as events occurs in our lives. And we live in a world of comparison, and we've been so conditioned to be busy that we kind of forget that it's in the quietness, it's going into the heart, and it's only achievable by meditation and by being really quiet and sitting and listening to our thoughts, when we will hear our Holy Spirit, in the Christian case, or whatever you want to call it, but God really inside us, prompting us to do something new, or to show up in a new way to the world. And all of us, I don't know of one person that I've ever met that is not looking for what is my purpose, what am I here to do. And so it's needed that we know that we cannot hear what we need to go and do next if we don't go quiet. And quietness, meditation in that sense, is just grounding, and you all know grounding. I've taken you through the process, where you just go from the mind into the heart, and by telling yourself to relax and allowing your brain to receive that message, and that it leaves the day and lives into this moment only, that is so divine, that we receive as a gift. And then in that moment we will hear thoughts that will kind of sound strange to us, but we will also have these moments where God just says to you, you know what, this is the next step. This is the next thing that you need to do. And I know it from experience with a business. When I started Limitless, it was kind of hectic. I didn't know where to start. But I had this big, big faith inside me, and I still have it, that I know God just have good plans for my life and for my career and for this business. And that what I'm doing here is not for myself and it's not for money. It's really to impact the world in a positive way. It's really to help people to get free from this depression, to discover themselves, to love themselves, to live a full life, to be happy, and to live in their purpose. And the success stories are just immense. So I want to prompt you today to make time, even if it's just 5 minutes. 5 minutes sounds silly, but if you really try to sit still for 5 minutes with your eyes closed and just listen with a notebook and a pen next to you, excuse the barking, you will find that it's a long time and it's initially difficult to do because we are not used to that. We are taught from a very young age that sitting still and being still and doing nothing is laziness. But how do we connect with God if our brains are so busy planning the next thing, doing the next thing, contemplating the next thing, running around up and down with what still needs to be done before the day can end, if we don't make time to sit still and listen? So when we listen, we just let the thoughts flow, and if the 5 minutes is finished, we get up and we go on with our day. And if we heard nothing, it doesn't mean failure. It means that you have started. You have taken the first step into a place where you'll discover gold. I mean, to take it back to my life, Limitless, when I started with a website, it was this big thing to me. And I thought, how are we ever going to finish it? And yes, I think we're now busy with it for 3 months. And we're really on the verge of going live now. And, I'm so proud of it. It's so beautiful. And was it hard work? Yes, it was. Did it confuse me? Did I go panicky? Did I go boss because I didn't know what to do next? Because it was too big for me? No, I've just been quiet. I've listened to the promptings of, some calls it their higher self, I call it God inside me, of Holy Spirit, or whoever it is. But I know that it's God that tells me, now listen, if you do this next thing, and then you'll find when you go and do that thing, it's very easy, it's ease and flow. It's nothing, there's no self in it, and you can barely, you cannot fail. It's always successful. It's when we act from self, when we never go quiet, when we never listen, when we're always busy and doing and manic and active, and I have to do and I have to achieve, and the world have to see me, and all those things that we so often do. Then when we go out and do something like developing a website, trust me, it becomes stressful. You will get anxious, and if you fail, it's a big thing because you have failed. It's not possible when you go from a spiritual perspective with it. So I want to prompt you today, or I want to beg you today, to make time to be quiet, to listen. We're all looking for a miracle. We're all looking for the next best thing. And we all have the answers inside us. But if we don't go and look for those answers within us, by being quiet, by sitting in a meditative state, and I'm not saying sit like this, I'm not saying make ooh-ha and let the smoke come from your ears. I'm a bit bohemic, but I really don't recommend that. That's not what I mean. I mean just go quiet. Sit, close your eyes, and just be you. And allow yourself and give yourself the gift of sitting in that moment, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, and listen. Listen what is going on in your mind. Don't judge it. Don't judge it. It's just thoughts. the thoughts are not you. You don't create them. They come and go. It's just thoughts. But let it run and listen to what is the next thing on your journey that is specific to you, that you must go and do to take you to the next step. My coach always say one small step at a time. And we have this joke amongst us that when she's working and when I'm working and we contact each other, she will always say to me, I'm busy with Osat, because she made it what do you call it, abbreviation, OSSAAT, one small step at a time. But that's really what it is. And that's really success. And I want you guys to know this, and I want you guys to start doing it. It's not that difficult. It is initially, but don't believe everything your brain is telling you. It's easy to be quiet. It's easy to hear God, and it's easy to discover these things, and they are all beautiful, divine, and meant for you. I wish you a wonderful day. Till next time. Ciao.